bachaphazeleka.
Ke a leboha modula setulo. Like your night thing. Firstly, let's do this. Minister, the whole reason why you have a selection and evaluation panel, the nomination task team, is because the King Ivy report on cooperative governance at 2016 advises that it must be there. And at the heart of why that should be the case is so that there can be transparency in the work of government. You don't need to pay me for me to be known or held accountable for decisions that have to do with the governing or the governance of the Republic of South Africa. So it is all fair and great for you to say because you're not paying these people, you're not going to tell us who they are. But the bottom line is you are being paid. And the decisions that you make on a salary, on the lives of the people of South Africa, and a salary, here we the people of the Republic of South Africa, those decisions must be transparently held accountable. So it is, for me, an act of shame that you hold the arrogance to tell us that it is none of our business who those people who advise you are. It is our business as the people of this committee, and it is the business of the people of South Africa to know who gets to vet, who gets to govern 19 billion rands of the country's coffers. And if you are still going to maintain, I'll wait for you to talk and then listen to me. Thank you, Minister. And if you're still going to maintain, Minister, that you are not going to tell the people of South Africa who your people are, your people who you clearly, for me, here's my hunch, and I don't have my bones out. I'm not in my ndomba, but here's my hunch, right? The reason why you don't want to tell us on record who the team was, who the selection committee was, is because you know if you tell us the names, it will be very easy for us to close on the dots on who those people are and why they were sent there. Because had there not been those people, then there is no way that out of 573 applicants, the best bets would have been Nomusa Ngubi. There's no way you would have gotten Utembi Ngosi Josopo. There's no way you would have gotten Zakeleb Teles. There's no way you would have gotten Ukonde, Kababu, Katatumantash. There's no way you would have gotten Upeteles Tole there. There's no way you would have had Uloyiso Masuku there. There's no way you would have had Ubuyambo Mantashe, Kumersita, agriculturist, Tumtata, engineering, manufacturing. There is no way you would have had Usianda Mkati there. There's absolutely no way Elizabeth Tobajani would have been immersed in the system. And there's no way you would have had Ntatema Buyakulu there. Certainly no way Boni Sombele would have emerged. No way Tulani Tifuta would have been there. And Mama Amanda Mapena would have also not been there. These are just a few of the rest of the people there. The reason why you configured the list of the panel the way you configured it is so that there's a tailored outcome of these ANC cadres who are already beneficiaries of the system of government. Some are district municipality CFOs there. And it's a shame altogether. So when I say ngaki iteng, and leadership that is graceful would say, Diakolisa guys, denziputa. I didn't think I would be caught in this mess. But I have been caught and I realized bana dirongo, so I won't do it again. Instead of maintaining to say there's nothing wrong with these people, because your argument, mind you, is the same as saying, Brian Molefe, as qualified as he is, on the basis of his qualifications, we forget about corruption and thuggery because he's qualified. Your argument says it's good for you to have qualifications. You can be a thug as long as you have qualifications. You can be corrupt and be used to manipulate and politicize the system to the detriment of the people of South Africa as long as you have an NQF level 8. That argument doesn't work. Meluat, hi. Congratulations on your appointment. So you were inducted on the 6th of May. And then on the 8th, your body received an advisory notice on these appointments. Am I correct? Is this the tally that I have? Is the dates correct? You were the 6th of May, you were inducted. And then on the 8th of May, the advisory notice came out. Is that correct?
Hold on. Let me pause the time.
No, thank you very much, Chairperson. I did not want to interrupt Honorable Khahawe. She makes, let me say an example, and a claim on top of that of a very qualified master's, a recent graduate of a master's just yesterday. Yesterday, yeah, and she says that he's a thug, and he's a member of parliament, maybe not a member of this committee. So I would appreciate the situation where she focuses on her argument as it pertains to the topic and withdraws that particular statement. Thank you very much.
Yeah, the Honorable Khahawe, I think let's try and avoid, you know, in a full plenary, they say that you are casting aspersions on a member on something that has not been proven. And therefore, please avoid and withdraw that one. Look, I've allowed you with others because they're not members of parliament. And I'm sure in their own right, they will also disagree. It's a point of debate. I saw Honorable Lowe was raising the hand. I'm sure he also wants to raise the issue. So I don't want us to debate the matters, yes.
Thank you. I withdraw that Ndate Brian Molefe is not proven to be corrupt, is not proven to be a thug, is not proven to have siphoned state coffers. I withdraw that. Meluwaka? But
You see, now it's going to be a problem because we're going to start debating Steenhuisen.
Yeah, you are
right. Then it's going to be a problem because we are also very educated as well. We're not going to go that route.
Yeah,
so please, she withdraw unconditionally?
You are.
Please, Chairperson.
Yesterday, I had a meeting with the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, and she said to me, if somebody opens the mic before you recognize them, you must warn them. So I'm warning you because I was noting, I had noted Honorable Lowe, I'll note Ngubane and Khabo, and I hope we're moving towards where we'll allow Honorable Khahawe to move. Honorable Lowe.
Thanks, Chair. It is quite important that we are too much consistent with regard to how we want to address issues. We've been labeled as ANC members who are corrupt, and I'm an ANC member in good standing, and I'm a leader of the ANC, and I'm deployed by the ANC. So there should be consistency as to how do we want to approach this point of orders, because we've been taking it as it is. So we shouldn't be selective as to how things have been done, because we can argue the whole day that we are not corrupt, some of us, but we've been told that we are corrupt. We appointed this as ANC members. I'm an ANC member in good standing, and I can be able to defend myself because I'm not corrupt. Thanks.
Yeah, the rules also say that if the rules, Honorable Law says, if the reference is not made to the name of a person, you must not take offense. I think even yesterday, there was a ruling in National Assembly where the EFF was querying that a member was casting aspersions on the EFF as a political party. The Deputy Speaker clarified that we don't have, but the rules does say if it's a shade thrown at the party, it's not to an individual, and we can't sustain an order on such, or you can't call an order when a shade is thrown at the political party, not an individual. Honorable Ngubane.
No, thank you very much, Chair. I think you've clarified what I want to clarify. In the reference of a name, it's wrong, Chair. So that needs to be specific. Because when they say ANC comrades are corrupt, we just blanket it because we see empty stadium being made. So it's community and people who are saying that. But when there is a reference, then it becomes a problem. That's why, Chair, we are requesting, Chair, Honorable Brian Molefe received his PhD last week. He graduated from PhD in law. So we request a respect and a withdrawal of what it has been referenced to him. He's a highly educated individual in MK Party.
No, thanks. He did not get it from Fortes RPL. No, I'm joking. Honorable Khabo.
No, Chairperson, I just wanted to emphasize what you had raised earlier on in terms of what the rule says and plead with the honorable member, be clear in terms of withdrawal, because it's inconsistent with the law. It's unlike we are saying that MKP is a corrupt organization, or unlike saying that Zuma is corrupt. It's two different things. That one is very clear. We are all being accused of corrupt here up until we prove ourselves before the court of law. Thank you very much, Chairperson.
Honorable Lonzi.
Withdraw. I withdraw. Can I move on?
Yeah, hold on, Honorable Lonzi.
No, Chairman, I want to plead with the members that the culprits department, can we focus all our energies on the minister and a team so that we don't get dragged in the sideshows. We want to get to the bottom of this thing of sitters. So all the missiles, can they be thrown on the other side of the room? Please, thanks, Chair.
Yeah, Honorable Lonzi has promised to buy us ice cream today. So, to buy Honorable
ice cream.
Yeah, so please withdraw unconditionally.
I withdraw, Chairperson.
Thank you very much. Let's continue.
Meluat, answer, please.
Thank you very much, Honourable Member, and through you, Chairperson. In response to that question, the authority would have received a letter dated 4 May from the Minister requesting a consultation with the authority regarding the appointment of the chairpersons of the accounting authorities. The induction took place on the 6th of May. The advisory note that was sent would have been sent on the 9th of May, 2025.
Okay.
Thank you.
So then, how much time did you take as the NSA to consider the names?
Thank you, Honourable Member. So the authority would have convened a special authority meeting wherein the Minister...
I'm going to pause you. Nakoyak Milwak, how much time did you take? Don't take me what happened at breakfast and then at lunch.
Okay.
How much time did you have to consider?
The Minister would have presented in the special authority meeting wherein she would have consulted with the authority on the appointment. So in terms of the timelines, the authority would have received the presentation from the Minister. Thereafter, a decision was taken or a resolution was taken from the special authority meeting.
Sana mhlambe ndikubuza ngesiXhosa kile mosotho ndizazama ndingasazi ngoba ndiphenduli. Ixesha lithatha ixesha lingaki nokuconsiderisha. So minister unike presentation nini nasebenza phezu kwayo nini?
The Minister would have presented in the special authority meeting. So the authority would have deliberated in that meeting.
So you arrived, you got the same day you got the presentation in the meeting, you dealt with it and you moved on. That's what you're saying?
That is correct, Honourable Member.
Okay. In that meeting, was there anybody, including yourself, that had a problem with the composition of the appointments?
So in the meeting, Honourable Member, we expressed our appreciation for the Minister in consulting the authority as per the legislation. In terms of the process, the authority members would have equally commended the process that was followed insofar as the appointments of the chairpersons. There were issues that were raised, and I think this was further emphasized by the Minister, in terms of demographics. The authority felt that the recommendations were quite short on issues of demographics, young people, geographic representation, and by and large, at face value, that disjuncture or seemingly disjuncture between the experience vis-a-vis the sector in which those appointments would have been made. So those were ventilated, and the advice from the authority would have been that in future, that the ministry would need to look at these particular aspects that were raised and ensure that going forward, that those matters are resolved.
So you gave all of this to the minister and you listed that, right? But you said in future. So you said you're listing that, one, there's a problem with suitability, as some of the case in some of the appointments. There's a problem on where the people come from and who the people are, as far as demographic composition is concerned. But even though those are serious problems, we're giving you a thumbs up, continue and appoint these people.
Thank you, remember. So the issue around the suitability was at face value, but the matter was clear.
Order. Yes or no, please. Because I gave you, like, it's a very simple answer. So you still gave a unanimous support of the list. Even though you raised issues, we heard what your issues are. But after those things, your opinion to the minister was still that the list is great, let's have it. Was that the absolute majority consensus of the authority?
The authority would have found that the process that was followed was a correct process, and the authority would have approved or given the thumbs up to the minister.
The report that the minister then gave to the authority on the composition of her desired list of candidates to fill positions, did it include who the panel was and what the panel recommendations are?
Can I get clarity, Honourable Member? Are you...
So obviously, so the minister's submission to you is based on the panel that shortlists and says this is the recommendation of who we think you should go. Were you privy to this composition of that panel? You're not. So you are saying now to the people of the Republic of South Africa, as the head of the NSA, you do not know who the panel that worked on the preliminary work of deciding who the candidates for appointment of SETAs, which you are responsible for scrutinizing, are. You don't know those people. You just took what the minister told you and you knew nothing else.
The responsibility of the authority would be to ensure that due processes were followed, and that at the level of governance, that insofar as the process was commensurate with the legislation, we were satisfied that that particular process did indeed take place.
Thank you for not responding to my question. Ntate Dlamini, Kapukenta Ngubane, what is your job?
I'm Chief Director, SETA Coordination, responsible for SETA performance and governance.
What does that mean in this process? The process of the appointments, how do you fit into the picture?
I run the process administratively. I also have the responsibility to provide technical advice in the process.
So meaning the setups of the meetings, the screening processes, all of those things, that administrative function is yours?
No.
What do you mean then you run? What do you mean? Explain. That in this process you feature with technical support and administrative support. What does that look like?
I'll make an example. The gazette, when a gazette needs to be issued, minister cannot prepare a gazette.
So you are nowhere in the middle of the screenings and the nominations involved in any of this. You can say yes.
No.
You're not. Okay, that's fine. DG Sishi, when a minister of your department that you are the Director General of takes a decision to compile a panel that is responsible for the appointment of people who directly account to you, do you ever get to know what that composition is?
Thank you very much, Chair. Let me start by saying our approach has been that we separate we promote the integrity of the process by ensuring that we stick to AG's advice. So this is the first time that we have gone to this extent, which is when we presented to Parliament, that's what we emphasized, all that way up. Extraordinary measures taken to improve on the integrity of the processes, from the qualifications, the minimum requirements right up to that point. My role would be then, once the NSA have seen, have looked into the list, and it now is approved to make sure that the machinery of the department provide support and make sure that the orientation programs are done. And so I think that would be the role of the DG then.
The mic is off.
Oh, thank you. TG, do you know who the selection panel for the appointment of NSFAS are?
No.
You don't know? You're saying that with the fear of God in your heart, that you do not know?
Yeah, yes, quite correctly, no. That's what I said.
Okay. So the whole lot of the department, including the NSA that's sitting here, is saying with their chests, none of you know who the minister's panel is. You don't know the faces, you don't know the names, and you were not involved, that Minister Nobuhle Nkabane concocted this whole fiasco alone.
Chep, I trust you not find me to be out of order if I say, in the past, whenever we were appointing panels, there's been problems that have been identified in the department. One of them is administrative inefficiencies in the department that would have concerned the minister, as she was determined to make sure that the integrity of this process is upheld. And so you would also see that even the processes of ensuring that there is an arm's length kind of panel that is going to make sure that these processes are looked into had to be such that we protect its integrity and there is no prior contact with anyone who's appointed. So if we say no, that's because indeed that's what we intended to produce, a process that is free of any contamination and influence by any other official of the department.
TG, you have a lot to say, but you're not really saying anything. The answer is simple. So you are saying, yourself as the DG and all your officials here, you are saying you're throwing the minister under the bus for herself to take responsibility alone. You are saying, as the DG, and none of you people know who she worked with to consult on this matter. It's okay to say, so you don't know anything as the department.
Yeah.
Okay. Advisor to the minister.
Yeah.
I heard you, it's fine. That advisor to the minister, that next door, Hana Intatik
Honorable.
Am I correct that you hold the position of the advisor to the minister?
That's correct.
Okay. When who's the panel? There's no way you can be advisor to the minister and not know who the panel is. And you can't intervene. Nobody. I'm asking, everybody here introduce themselves, Chairperson, to say they're going to respond to questions. Each and every one of them must.
Yeah, the advisors don't account to us.
They don't.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're just here to, and you're not willing to just want to tell us out of public service who the people are. Okay, that's fine. That is okay. I was just trying my luck, and you're very touchy with the whole thing. Sad, actually. But okay, no, it's okay. It's not a train smash. The issue, I want to conclude it because we're not going to go anywhere with this thing. We're literally not going to go anywhere because one, Minister Nkabane sees nothing wrong with a pool full of ANC loyalists from KwaZulu-Natal comprising majority of the deployment list because they're deployed. Number two, sees absolutely nothing wrong with the fact that the people of South Africa said they do not have trust in who these people are and the motives that they serve or the real reasons why they want to serve in the seaters. Bold to the extent of saying that the process was beyond reproach and that the same people must apply again. After 573 applications were received and her secret panel weapon, which we will very much uncover very soon, her secret panel clearly favored these other people. So we're not going to go anywhere. The only closing shot I want to say is this. Minister, at the heart of public service is selflessness. It is an absolute blessing to be given a position of a minister that oversees not only SETAs that are responsible for empowering young people, but overseeing institutions that make or break the lives of young people. And given that in the last 31 years of this country, we've had an issue where there is an erosion of trust between the people of this country and its government, and how government has been politicized, you would assume that people who come and take office do so with one interest only, the people, and forget about their political loyalties. You can be loyal to your political manifesto, but you can't be loyal to the stomachs of cadres. Because what that then does, Minister, is it not only questions your reputation here and makes us question your credibility and the interests that you have and you serve, but it makes us question the department itself and its configuration on where it is going, whether the people of this country can continue to pay tax with confidence, knowing that their tax is going to serve a good mandate. I just hope one day you're going to reconfigure your thoughts and be honest and transparent about who your panel is, particularly if you're going to expect us and the Republic to respect the recommendations of that panel.
Thank you. Honorable Souls.
Well, thank you very much, Chairperson. Honorable Minister, I think I'm going to start by saying that so that people don't think I'm a MK member. What I'm wearing, I am actually wearing a design by a local businessman in Rustenburg, Mr. Ramafoko. Ramafoko, and he owns the business called 3 Rams. I'm also drinking out of the cup that his business makes. And the reason why is because, Minister, I want to reassure you of my intention. I'm not trying to score any points. I'm here because the chairpersons that you appoint affects businesses of black South Africans, colored South Africans, Indian South Africans, white South African young people. And so it's very imperative that we do this process right. So that is my motivation, just so that you know. Secondly, you have spent a lot of time dealing with the constitutionalism around the appointment of those that are politically associated, that it's not illegal to do that. I want to reassure you that I agree with you. It's not illegal, so it can be done. Then also, the qualifications of the appointees or the previous appointees. You have shown that they are qualified. And so that part of the process of not depriving people based on their political affiliation, the qualifications, that part of the process clearly seems to be perfect and above reproach. My question to you is, are you 100% sure the entire process of appointing SETA chairpersons was perfect and above reproach? Beyond, above, same thing.
Thank you so much, Honorable Soul. That's what I can say. one did not anticipate the outcry from the society, to be honest, because what I sticked on is the criteria and the application of the act. That's what the mandate that I gave to the independent panel that was overseeing the process. So after seeing that or observing that there is an outcry, as a responsible citizen, as a public representative, I had to act and respond to their outcries. That's why now, when we reopen the process, we are going to take all those issues that they've raised into consideration. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Honourable Minister. Are you aware that Government Gazette number 34249 of the 26th of April 2011, regulations for matters relating to the Accounting Authority of SITA, uses the word independent chairperson in interpreting Section 11 of the Act? Are you aware?
To be honest, I haven't looked at the Government Gazette of 2016.
I have.
I have to be honest here.
I have, and I put it to you for the sake of progress.
2016, not this one. I would love to get the copy so that
Okay,
yes.
I put it to you that said regulation speaks of independent chairpersons. What is your understanding of independent chairpersons? Just off the cuff.
When I think of the word independent, it is quite broad. Depends on which angle are you going to approach it. I'm not sure whether the angle that I'm going to use is it going to achieve your expectations. For me, the independent part of it is to say the person has to exercise his or her fiduciary duties with distinction. There should be no conflict of interest. The person must be guided and adhere to the constitutional obligations as well as the Skills Development Act. Thank you.
For the record, is every single person on that previous list independent based on your definition?
Because in terms of be it a person is implicated or is allegation or was arrested or has a criminal record, my determination was based on the vetting report that I received. So it made me to be comfortable that indeed the process is independent, because amongst the measures that I said I'm going to put as the minister is to sign a service level agreement with those chairs and to indicate that they must not do any business within the sector.
The process might have been independent. I'm asking, are you, based on your definition of independent chairperson, are you 100% sure that every single person on that previous list of appointees are independent chairpersons based on your definition, not mine?
Yes, for me, I could safely say they were, because they are no longer there, they were independent, as they knew that amongst the issues that we would commit or sign with them is to say they are not going to do any business within the sector.
Are you sure?
I can't be sure, but we have measures that we have put in place
So you're
to
not
assess. We have measures that we have put in place to make sure that they do comply with the service level agreement.
Honourable Minister,
they do comply.
With respect, you said you can't be sure. Are you saying that you're not sure? You started your response by saying, I can't be sure, close quote. Are you saying that you are not sure?
Basically what I'm saying, in terms of the reports that I received, I was comfortable and confident that the process was beyond reproach and those chairpersons are independent. You know, sometimes you appoint a person and the person meets the criteria. You wouldn't know what a person is capable of. then what helps you is to put measures in place, internal measures, to make sure that no one contravenes with any legislation and a person also signs a declaration of interest. So that's what I covered myself with. I don't know what is it that they could do beyond that, because I can't put my head on the rock and say I'm 100% sure that they wouldn't.
In your definition, you mentioned one of the items that you mentioned was conflict of interest. Yes. That is not something for future. It's something that you predetermine to the point of consideration.
Yeah,
So then when you say independent in that sense, you are saying, just on that point, you are saying at the point of appointing them, you are sure they are independent as it relates to conflict of interest. Yes. So you are 100% sure that they are independent.
Yes, but beyond that, I wouldn't.
All right, you are sure. All right. Do you still maintain that the entire process was beyond reproach and perfect?
In terms of legislative imperative,
independent chairperson
complied with each and every piece of legislation and requirements by regulation.
Okay.
But then, additionally, it's my responsibility as a public representative to listen to what people are saying. When they say the recommended list is politically bloated, I had to respond. That's the only matter that made me to then say, I want to review the process.
Okay. I just put to you another element to consider, which is the independence of the chairperson, okay? The second one is, are you aware of the insertion of section 11 capital letter A and section 11 capital letter B in the Skills Development Act? Are you aware?
Yeah.
Are you aware?
Yeah, this is section 11(1)(a).
Capital A, the insertion, the Principal Act only has section 11, subsection A, B, etc. Then the amendment added the insertion of 11 capital A, 11 capital B. Are you aware?
Yes, I'm aware, but I don't have a copy, unfortunately, now, because with my presentation, I only focused on section 11.
That's
1A,
okay.
yes.
The section, the section that we are referring to is called the eligibility section. The eligibility section demands of the candidates to have specific character qualities.
Okay.
You can trust me, Honorable Minister.
I know, I must sit.
That's okay, but you can. It's just I'm worried about my time, but you can trust me. The eligibility clause deals specifically with character qualities now, not just education, not just political affiliation, but character qualities. It calls for people found to be involved in theft, fraud, even acts of dishonesty. The word dishonesty is even there. To be disqualified from appointment. Is there anyone on the previous list of appointees who has been charged with or officially said to have been involved in acts of dishonesty like bribery or any form of corruption?
As I indicated, Honorable Soul, I only relied on the vetting report. I did not interview each and every person that was recommended because it's beyond my obligation. So I rely on an independent vetting company to actually provide those services on behalf of the department.
Honorable Minister, you are the one throughout the meeting who wanted to make us understand it is you who appoints.
Yes.
Then you wanted to make us understand, because it's not just in your individual capacity, you are not as an individual capable of doing all of that yourself, you have then a voluntary panel that assists you. And this makes us understand that you will now make sure of all these questionable things. So you cannot now say that you don't know, you just take the vetting report and then you gave me the impression. That's why I'm not asking about the secret panel. Because for me it's like, well, if it helps you to get to the detail, if that panel helps you to get to the detail, then it's great. Then you should know whether someone as part of that list has been charged or not.
Should I come?
Yes, please, Minister.
Yes. I think maybe, Honorable Sol, you are referring to 11A on eligibility D, is it? I'm going to make a reference. Unfortunately, the majority of them I don't know. I only know one person. Not that I got that from the vetting report, because the person was cleared. I had to make a follow-up from the vetting team that was giving me the report to say, this is a report, Minister, to say, so did it clear? One of the people that were recommended is Mr. Mike Mabuyakulu, because I'm from KZN and I know him, that he was once arrested, charged for some criminal activities, as much as I do not know the details. And then what I picked up from that report, because I saw it, is that the case was closed and he was cleared. So he's the only person that I know of, not through the report. It's because I know, hence I'm from KwaZulu-Natal.
And you don't feel that that's reason to question eligibility?
I think this one is more technical in terms of legal terms, because my understanding is that if somebody has been cleared, he has been cleared by the court of law. So who am I to then argue or challenge the court of law to say this person has been cleared, you know?
I'm not saying specifically the individual, I'm testing your disposition.
I want to speak about this, something that I know. I don't want to generalize, because I know that one.
But I'm trying,
others, unfortunately, if they do have some issues, I don't know.
I'm trying to decipher your posture in assessment, not necessarily the individual that has been cleared.
Yeah.
I'm trying to your posture when you look at a situation. Do you say, oh, cleared, tick? You don't look deeper into what 11A and B requires. To say, look deeper into the character qualities of these chairpersons you can appoint.
Mm-hmm.
The law wants you to do that, not just cleared.
No,
is it true? Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
No, I must take your note. It is assisting us, hence we have reopened the process, maybe to also dig deeper and also cover the aspects that you are raising. It's helping, in fact, it is empowering us as the ministry.
You have just indirectly conceded that you're now spotting some flaws.
Yes, because of the issue that you are raising to reflect on 11A.
All right, so I'll leave it there.
Capital letter A to F, yes.
All right. I'll leave it there.
Yes.
And continue. For clarity, you said that the reason there was unequal race appointments was because 0 colored South Africans, 0 Indian South Africans, and 0 white South Africans was nominated or applied. Is that correct?
It's correct only with the chairs, but with the AAs, we are good. When we bring to the attention of the portfolio committee, the AAs.
So with the chairs, nobody?
Yes.
No,
I'm
none of
hoping
those.
this time around all of us are going to go out and encourage them to be nominated, or we are going to go out and ask relevant sectors to nominate them.
All right.
The only person that applied was the chairperson, the previous chairperson of Health and Welfare. Unfortunately, she couldn't meet the criteria, or was nominated, not applied.
All right. On your media statement dated the 16th of May 2025, you commit to the nation that when it comes to preference and equity, you are going to specifically look at race, gender, youth, people with disabilities. You include race, I quote. In the government gazette that you've released, calling for the reopening for nominations, you expressly exclude race. You only have gender, youth, and persons with disabilities. What is the reason for not having race in the official government gazette?
Maybe if I can respond to this one is because when I looked at the Constitution, because that one was a gazette, at least that one, the first one was a statement. The Constitution of the Republic of South Africa prohibits unfair discrimination on the grounds of race. So it was not easy for me to just put race on a government gazette. Hence, the Constitution prohibits.
No, for equity, you are saying the Constitution allows you to have preference for equity, to look at racial balance. That's the reason why you have it on the statement that you're talking to South Africans.
Yeah.
It is untrue to say that you are not allowed by law to say race in a government gazette. That's incorrect, Honorable Minister.
When I looked at the Constitution, it says it is only a relevant factor in some context, in particular in addressing the imbalances of the past. So when you look at it and try to interpret it.
But that's what you said.
When you I'm making an example, white people, you cannot say you are addressing the imbalances of the past.
Okay, colored people.
However, I'm reaching out to various organizations, the colored community, as I've mentioned earlier on, the organized white people organizations and through the business chamber to say, good people, please try to encourage them to be nominated. I also spoke to Outer as well
Minister,
to say,
I agree with you.
to various executives,
Hear my
cabinet
question.
ministers who are here.
Please
to
hear
say,
my question. I agree with you. That call that you are making for all races to come requires you to put the word race in the government gazette. Do you agree?
I have to get a legal opinion. I don't want to say I agree or disagree.
Did you get a legal opinion to put the word race in your media statement?
No, I did not.
Yet you put it in your media statement. Why?
I felt I must put it.
You don't feel you must put it in the government gazette?
No. Not that we were trying to deprive other races to be part of this process. That's why I'm even saying to you,
Minister.
I'm even reaching out, speaking to various organized races that we have in the country. I'm reaching out to everyone to say, good people, let's try to make sure that this process becomes inclusive at the end of the day.
My intention is not to embarrass you. My intention is not to, I said it at the beginning, but I am asking for honesty. I am asking, let's agree and let's take accountability if we've done wrong. We now have a second opportunity to correct this. You have not excluded race because you want to. You are now positioning yourself to the nation as 1 minute I want to add race, the next I don't want to. I need a legal opinion. So what I'm imploring you to do, Honorable Minister, what I'm imploring you to do, take accountability. Say there's race in your media statement and you meant it because you want to include all races.
Yeah.
And you accept accountability that the word race is excluded in the official government gazette, and you will fix it.
I will do, Honorable Soul.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Based on that concession, would you now agree that the entire process was not perfect and above reproach, based on your concessions now?
No, these concessions does not invalidate the process, because what guides the minister in terms of appointing AAs is the Skills Development Act.
Okay, so I conclude.
So I followed all the requirements as made in the Skills Development
Okay,
Act.
so I conclude.
However, I am going to consider the issues that you have raised here. I
Okay.
am going to speak to my team to also remove the gazette that we have advertised yesterday and put this one, because we want to make sure that
Yes.
this process becomes inclusive as much as we could.
Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you,
I
sir.
put it to you, even though that you have admitted to the flaws, and by virtue of the fact that there are flaws that you conceded to, that makes the process not perfect. That makes the process not above reproach.
It's the one that-
May I just have your focus this one, because I'm concluding.
It is
Honourable.
confusing me.
Yeah.
It's showing me what I spoke on already, Honorable. So
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Because I'm concluding. And I'd like you to hear this, to say that because of that concession, I put it to you that the process has been flawed. I'm glad that you're committing to fix it. And I want to remind you, Honourable Minister, you're not fixing it for you, you're not fixing it for the panel, not for me. You're fixing it for young black businessmen and women, like 3 Rams, Mr. Ramafoko. I thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honourable Minister.
Thank you.